What is up, guys? Steven here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a replay of SPL Week 5. I got the pleasure of being able to play MEEPS, who is pretty much an old school kind of player. He's been around for a really long time, so it's really cool to get to play him in my first SPL game. And at this point in the series, my team was down 5-6. So if I won this game, then we tied for the week, and if I lose, then we lose for the week. But that wasn't really, there wasn't really any pressure. I'm just playing Mons. And looking at my team, I'd like to kind of explain the team. I wanted to build fighting spam because I felt like it had a lot of potential in NU. Firstly, because the best two Mons in the tier right now are Heliolisk and Steelix, and fighting types obviously do a really good job against both of those. And I figured that most teams this SPL have really only had one or two switch-ins to fighting types, so I assumed that I'd be able to wear down opposing fighting types. So I decided to build around Banded Sock, Sturdy Sock with Zen Headbutt, and SD Verizian with Zen Headbutt as well. The idea there is that they can break each other's counters, mainly being Vileplume, Weezing, stuff like that, and of course Sock also gets access to knockoff, so it can hit the ghosts and the psychics that are going around the tier. Next, I wanted to use Calm Mind Barrier Store Powered Masharna, because it actually puts in a lot of work in the meta, and since I'm running fighting spam, that would give me an opportunity to basically try to eliminate the opposing dark types, and I won't need the added coverage of Signal Beam or something like that to hit dark types. So being mono attacking with stored power isn't a problem with fighting spam. Next, I have regular. I have Mega Steelix. I'm running a bit of a offensive spread with enough speed for camera ups because I wanted before it Mega Evolves, so that I can preserve my Hariyama, as it really is my only fire switch in. So I'm running a bit more of an offensive spread there, and I have Stone Edge to try to hit Mantine, since that is another switch into fighting types, and that would help me to weaken that. Next I do have AV Hariyama, just because I needed a fire switch in, and it actually does add to the fighting core, and that's why I chose Hariyama over something like Ninetales. And lastly, I have Scarf Trick Xatu. I wanted something that could check Verizian 100% of the time, and if it's Calm Mind, Xatu beats it. If it's SD, Xatu beats it. It can revenge it, so that's good. Trick lets me cripple opposing Calm Mind Psychic types or Malamars that would threaten the team otherwise. And I have Giga Drain and Heat Wave for coverage, and Giga Drain helps me to beat Dragon Dance Gator, since you actually outspeed it at +1 with the spread I'm running. So sorry for the long team introduction, I just kind of wanted to explain the thought process. Looking at team preview, things that are annoying. Sneasel, basically if I got rid of Sneasel, I win the game with Masharna. So my first goal was to beat the Sneasel. Uxie is always annoying to fighting spam teams just because it's incredibly bulky. Of course it resists close combat, so I'm going to have to play really aggressively against the Uxie if I want to win. And it can also U-turn out on my Xatu and keep momentum for him, so that's really something I need to watch out for. Mantine, I want to try to lure that in with Steelix and cripple it, so my fighting types can do even more work. And Mawile is also somewhat of a threat because I am running fighting spam, but since most of my team outspeeds it anyway, I'm not really too concerned because I feel like I can actually just pressure it enough for it not to be a threat. So getting into leads, I'm just gonna lead Steelix because I'm expecting. I was honestly expecting either Uxie Rotom or Sneasel as his leads. Sneasel predicting me to lead, with Xatu predicting his Uxie. So I'm just going to lead with my Steelix, and turn 1, I really wanted to scout if he had Will-O-Wisp. My Xatu is not very important in this game, so I'm willing to risk it turn 1, as he actually does end up going for Will-O-Wisp. And I bounce that back and it does hit, so that's nice. Now I'm going to trick, just predicting some sort of switch, as he's actually not choiced and hits me up with a Shadow Ball, so that's okay. Like I said, I didn't really need Xatu, and I was willing to take the risk of clicking Trick, trying to catch that Uxie or that Sneasel early game so I could try to beat those. And now I do actually force him to be a Scarf Rotom, which is a lot easier for me to play around with my team. So I'm going to go into Steelix here, and I'm going to try to Stone Edge the Rotom in case he wants to go into Mantine too, but I miss. That's really unfortunate because this thing gets to live, so I can't just click Close Combat with a complete disregard for human life with Sock. So I'm forced to go in Hariyama on the second Shadow Ball and just knock off the incoming Uxie. And now he's going to yawn as I go into my Steelix, and I'm fine to trade rocks here. Knowing that he's just going to U-turn, I'm going to burn a Sleep Turn here. He actually crits me with U-turn, but that obviously doesn't matter. I click Stone Edge this turn, hoping to hit Mantine, but yeah, that was my first turn sleep. So I'm going to go into Virizion because it's my most offensive switch in, and based off of the way that MEEPS is built in the past, I know he's not going to be running Air Slash, so I'm just free to come into Virizion and click Leaf Blade, as he's going to end up sacking his Uxie here. So I feel like I'm in a decent position. Uxie is gone, and I'm pretty much free to click CC now. So I'm going to go into my Hariyama on his Sneasel. He's forced to click Icicle Crash. He can't mess around with Virizion. And at this point, I'm going to double back into Virizion, predicting Mantine. I actually do get that play correct. So I'm pretty much going to get another kill here with Virizion, as he's going to hit me up with the Toxic, and even though he's probably Pro-Tox, I can just stay in and click Leaf Blade. That is what's happening, and I'm just going to kill him with Leaf Blade. My Virizion is down to where rocks will kill me, so he's just going to come in and revenge me with Hariyama. So now I go into Sock, and I'd like to explain this play. As I said in Team Preview, I have Zen Headbutt, and basically I could not let Rotom get a free switch in after I killed this. So my thinking is, if I click CC here, yeah, I kill him, that's fine. But his Rotom's going to come in, and he's going to be able to either Volt Switch out or T-Bolt, depending on what he has. And I'd pretty much be forced to switch into anything. And I really don't want anything taking the Shadow Ball that would most likely be coming my way. I need Hariyama at the HP it's at to be able to reliably beat the Sneasel. And I really need Sock alive, because that guarantees me a way of beating the Mawile, because Sucker Punch obviously isn't going to OHKO me. So I'm going to go for Zen Headbutt here, because in the end, if he ends up going into Mawile, I can then just Zen Headbutt that, and then revenge it with Bullet Punch, and yeah, so I would be in a really good position. Even if he went into Sneasel on the Zen Headbutt, I still have Hariyama there to check it, so I would be fine. However, I'm going to miss Zen Headbutt, and this pretty much cost me the game. He's just going to Close Combat here because he really had no safe switch into this, and he's just going to take me out with the Bullet Punch. So that was really the game-changing hack, so it was really unfortunate. I'm forced to go into my Hariyama here, and he ends up running more speed EVs than I do on mine, and takes me out. So the game is basically over at this point. I'm just going to Calm Mind. My only hope is his Sneasel is Life Orb, and I can Life Orb stall it since I'm Barrier Masharna. So I'm just going to Moonlight here, and he gets the drop, which in the end doesn't actually matter, but it's just frustrating with all of the hacks that he got in this game. So yeah, he's Scarfed, and he's just forced to click Shadow Ball, so I'm just going to continue to Moonlight back up to full. And at this point, MEEPS is going to go into his Mawile, and he's going to start Swords Dancing, which is actually fine, because I can just Barrier alongside it. and he's gonna get to +6. And at this point, I feel like I actually have an okay chance, because he might be, he wasn't Life Orb Sneasel, but I feel like I had a chance at least. But he just crits me with Play Rough, and I had actually calced, and I was guaranteed to OHKO this Mawile with stored power, so that was really disappointing. Now he's just gonna take out the Steelix to win the game, and yeah, I feel like I played the battle pretty well. I had the win condition at the end if I just hit my Zen Headbutt, but I'm not really one to complain about hacks. I've never really been one to complain about hacks. It's unfortunate, it's part of the game, and it's not something that I feel like I was happy with my team. I was happy with the way I team built, and I really see no reason to be upset with how I played. So good game, MEEPS. Unfortunately we lost this week, but it was really cool getting to play in SPL. And if you guys like this video, drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.